Welcome to the channel. I'm technically not a technician, and today's video is brought to you by Mr. Arcade420. He's figured out how to play touchscreen games on your Simpsons cab. To demonstrate this, I'll show you a modified version of Button Remapper, and we'll be using a simple Flappy Bird clone that's been modified by Mr. Arcade420. This video is for educational purposes only and is only intended to show you what I've done and what my results are. If you choose to modify your systems using this or any other information I've provided from any videos or content I've created, you do so at your own risk. This channel, or any person connected to this video will not be held liable for any choices you make with your hardware or software. Modify at your own risk. For this guide, we'll need a USB keyboard and an SD card. If you need to order one of these items, please feel free to use one of the affiliate links in the description of this video. This channel will get a small commission from the transaction. You'll have the knowledge of knowing you have what you need, and you'll know you've helped support this channel. Thank you. You're also going to need 3 new APK files. One is a modified version of Button Remapper, a control screen program, and a modified version of Flappy Birds. Each of these can again be downloaded from the archive of the internet and should be found easily. Once you've found and downloaded the 3 files, place them on the root of your SD card, as we'll need to install them on our Simpsons cab. Once your SD card has been ejected, remove the back panel from your Simpsons cabinet and insert your SD card into the SD card slot. Once your SD card is in, you'll also want to insert your USB keyboard and mouse dongle. When you power up your cab, you may get a warning letting you know that you have a keyboard plugged into your system. Simply disregard that information, as this should only happen when the dongle is plugged in. We're now ready to interact with the Android operating system by pressing the Windows and N keys at the same time. When we press this combo of buttons, a menu opens, and when we expand that menu, you'll find a setting icon. We'll need to click on that settings icon to access an expanded Android menu. If you've installed Button Remapper on a past mod, you'll need to head to Apps and Notifications and uninstall the old copy first. We only need one copy, and this modified version works better for our needs. We'll now navigate to the storage area, and we'll need to locate our drive. I'm using an SD to USB adapter, and it's labeled as boot. Yours will surely be different, and I would guess that for many of you, you'll need to access your SD card. Regardless, please locate and access the drive with the copied file that you've just inserted. Now we can get started on the more exciting parts, which include installing and configuring these APK files. We are going to get started with the updated version of the Button Remapper. This version will allow us to map points on the screen to specific buttons. This will help us emulate touching the screen, and the new version will also allow us to define which programs will use these settings and which will not. You now have the flexibility to engage in activities that require touch screen abilities thanks to these new options. We are also going to install a new program that will assist in orienting game screens for improved gameplay. In addition to this, we are going to install a modified version of Flappy Birds that has a Simpsons theme. After installing these APKs, you should hit the Done button because we want to ensure that all of the APKs have been installed before we configure them. The first app that we'll configure is the control screen orientation. We'll head to the Apps and Notifications section again, and we'll open the Control Screen Orientation app. Once opened, the app will present us with a permission request. We'll need to click on Allow, and then turn on the Display on Other Apps option. When we back out of this menu, we'll get kicked out. Just head back to the Apps and Notifications section and reopen the app. This time we'll want to enable 2 options. The first is Start Service, and the second is Automatic Start after reboot. Now scroll to the section that says Select a Screen Orientation, and when given the submenu, select the Sensor Landscape option. We need to navigate out of the Control Screen Orientation app and head over to the Apps and Notifications menu. Once in this area, we'll look for and open the new version of Button Remapper, now called Button Remapper. Once the app is opened, we'll be asked to enable accessibility services. After enabling those services, we'll be presented with a submenu. Click on Continue. This will shift us to the Use Service area, and in this section we'll need to enable the Use Service option. After you click on the Enable tab, a new menu will present itself, and here we'll need to click on the Allow option. I know this sounds crazy, but we'll need to back out of the Button Remapper app and re-enter the Apps and Notifications section. When in this section, navigate to the Flappy Birds app and open it. When it first opens, it will take our screen orientation app a second to fix the orientation, but when it does, be sure to click on the Allow button. Once done, we'll want to find and identify the section of the screen that we would need to press to play the game. In this game, that would be the green area you see at the bottom left side of the Simpsons screen. You may wish to mark this area. I'll be using Spit to mark mine. After you've spit on your Simpsons screen, we'll want to back out of the Flappy Homer game. To do this, you'll need to press both the Alt key and the Escape key at the same time. This action will bring you to the home screen, and if your home app isn't the same, do not worry. The important thing to do here is navigate back to the Button Remapper app. To do this, you'll need to press the Windows key and the N key again to get us back into the Android operating system menu and let us open up Button Remapper once again. Once the app is open, we'll press the plus key in the bottom right corner, and this will give us two new options. We'll want to press the short and long press options. Once done, a new action option menu now opens. Under the first pull-down arrow, select the option called Other Option, and then press the blue attack key that corresponds to Homer's controls. This should learn Homer's attack button as button A. Under the next section labeled as Actions, we'll need to click on the Emulate Screen tap and click your mouse cursor on the area that I marked with my spittle. In the last pull-down menu marked Active In, we'll need to select Custom List, and a Manage Filter menu will pop up. Once on this menu, look towards the top. We'll need to click on the Active Only in Selected Apps option, and after that, we'll navigate to the Flappy Birds app at the bottom and mark Flappy Birds as our selection. Once those selections have been made, we'll need to name our list at the top left and then click on the check mark in the top right corner. Make sure you use a better naming convention than I did. Do something like call the list Flappy Birds. At last, we'll need to click the OK option, then simply back out to the Apps and Notifications section. In this area, we're going to open the Flappy Simpsons game and see if pressing Homer's attack button works the same as tapping the screen. If it does, we should be able to play. And we're going to say that this totally works. There is some lag between the time I press Homer's attack and when Flappy Homer flies. However, if you've got a simple game like this and you and your kids want to give it a go, this will work as an option for simple touchscreen emulation. I do want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. If you did, please remember to like, comment, and share this video with a friend or on social media. If you haven't, please consider subscribing to the channel. All of these things are small clicks of the mouse for you, but they help this little channel and our small community grow. Thank you.